Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today's video is going to be tying up loose ends number 13. Now I realize that that's an awful lot of them in a short period of time, you know, tying up loose ends stuff, and you normally it's several months between me doing a tying up loose ends video and the next one, and you guys are probably getting kind of tired of it, but I had a lot of little jobs laying around I needed to do, and so they don't make much video, and I did it. Before we get too far along though, I want to point out something here. Find out how to zoom the lens the right direction, and we'll lean it back. That's Chuck Bomarito's sticker right there. Chuck is a certified nice guy. Just thought I'd point that out to you, just in case you didn't know. Alright, now that we zoom her back in. Well, something you're probably not overly interested in is I like raw cabbage. Sometimes I catch the boss lady cutting up a head of it, and I make off with some. So I hope I'm not standing here with cabbage between my teeth making a video, but I like the stuff. She likes it cooked. I like it raw. What can you say? Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to fix the noisy bearings on the belt grinder. Because when I built it, I didn't give enough clearance for the bearings, and they were kind of stuffed in there tight, and I think that's kind of damaged them and made them noisy. So I'm going to take the rollers off, and one at a time I'll bore them out big enough to give the bearing a little breathing room, and put them back on, and then I'll stop when the noise stops. Okay, and we'll see if I can improve it. It makes an awful racket right now. And then when we get through with that, the stand that the belt grinder is on is also a welding cart. Not, you know, not much fun, but it is one. And when I run the grinder, dust and dirt and stuff, you know, grit and things and metal particles all want to collect down inside that cart, and that's not good for electronic devices like welding machines and such. We're going to fix that too. Alright, let's get on with it. And we're going to work on the belt sander. When I put the bearings in the little booger, in the rollers, let me see if I can find where the roller's at. I'm looking in the doohickey here, and I don't see. There we go. There's a roller right there. When I put the bearings in there, I think I machined the hole a little bit too tight, and the thing makes a god-awful racket. So I'm going to take the bearings out, machine the holes a little bit larger, and put new bearings in there and see if it doesn't change the sound. The thing makes a horrible racket right now. Anyway, that's today's job. Yeah, I intend to clean that mess up just any day now, but not today. The plan is, of course, to knock this little support out of the bearings, and then knock these bearings out of the thing here. And that's why I've got these press boxes to give it a little support while I tap on the stuff from the inside. And it's coming out, and the bearings will come out right behind it just the same way. It's just gonna take me time, and that's all I'm doing, knocking the bearings out. So there's nothing to see here, folks. Move on. Okay, so I redid the bearing surface, and it was a little bit too tight. To get them out, I run an end mill down through there, so that the next time the bearings need to come out, I can have plenty of grip to tap them out from the inside. I think that I'll do that to the other rotor also. Okay, this is how it sounded before I gave the bearings a little breathing room. Let me get some places off. And this is how it sounds afterwards. It'll be up to you to decide whether it's an improvement or not. Well, I thought that was going to be an $8 sheet of plywood. Turned out to be a $14 sheet of plywood, and it's only about 7/16. And I started to haul it back to the back. They had a wrong sign on it back there. And then I said, no, I'm just going to take it. So there you are. It kind of double what I wanted to pay. But this is what I'm going to cut the stuff out of to cover the sides of that stand right there. That guy with the grinder on top and the welding machine on the bottom. You actually normally have two of them under there, the plasma cutter and the MIG welder. So, and as you can see, they're sort of trapezoidal shape. I think that's what you'd call it. I don't know, I haven't thought about shapes like that since I was in school, and that's been a long time. More than 50 years, you know. So anyway, whatever you want to call the shape, I'm going to cut it out of there. It's about 30 something on the bottom and 20 something on the top. Alright, so there's the dimensions to cover one side. 20 inches across the top, 27.5 across the bottom, and 31 inches top to bottom. And I've marked it out on the plywood there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really and truly marked off down there somewhere. And so now all I got to do is get my skill saw, put some plywood on, 2x4s under there so I don't cut the garage floor, and wipe out my blade. And I'll be cutting the first one. I need two of them like that. Now the end is a different size, I'm pretty sure, so I'll have to have a different one for the end. In fact, maybe I'll just make one like that and then make the ends, because I can leave that right side there, well, left side, whatever side that is, with a toolbox on top. I can leave that side open, probably without getting a bunch of crud down in there. Probably be a lot more convenient, so that's what we'll do. We'll cut one of these and two of those, just like choosing off the menu. Well, I got wood under it to keep from cutting the floor, so, and I never make a straight cut with this saw. I can tell you that right here and now, so don't expect too much. I don't. It was going sort of good until I got about 3/4 of the way up, and I did one of those wobbly lane change things that the drunk drivers always do. So, snatched defeat right out of the jaws of victory there. So anyway, let's continue on. Alright, now I got to cut down the other side there that I didn't finish. I've still got plenty of chances to mess up, so don't give up. Well, believe it or not, it's going to fit. It's better when you lift it up where the width gets about right. So all I got to do is drill some holes put some screws in, and I'll have her. Okay, now it's just going to be 2 more of these, so there's no use me doing video any further until I get them attached. I'm going to put 4 holes in each one of them and drill into the metal and screw them down, and that'll be that. My first bright idea to keep all the dirt out of there was that big cloth that wrapped around 3 sides. First thing I did was caught that on fire. So I had to put a piece of metal under the end of the rollers right there where the sparks fly out right there. I had to put a piece of metal to keep from setting the darn cloth on fire. And then I worried about it all the time, so we're going to do it right this time. Well, that's how it's going to look on all the sides. I've got the bolts, the 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts at the bottom. I did a pretty good cut down the left side, but the right side not quite so good. I got a viewer that told me he's a professional carpenter, and said he just dies laughing every time he sees me doing carpenter work, so I guess he's having a genuine Rofflamo moment right now. I would be willing to bet. Alright, so I enclosed it on 3 sides, sealed the corner with genuine redneck trim and sealant, and I think that it will, I think that'll keep the dust and dirt out of the shelves, and I think we're in business. So that's the end of this little part. And I had at least a half a sheet of plywood left over. Now I got more junk to cram in the shed. Bubba's grandpa Bubba, was sitting at the breakfast table sopping some biscuits in some syrup there, some of that molasses stuff. And Grandma come in there and walked up to him, and she yells in his ear, "Bubba, you old fool, what are you doing sitting there with a suppository in your ear?" Grandpa Bubba says, I think I know where I lost my hearing aid." Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.